Pretty much what's going on is they did a little DNA test on the weapon, the alleged weapon that shot Meg Thee Stallion allegedly also, and the DNA was found inconclusive towards Tory Lanez DNA being on there. So they're saying that they couldn't determine that Tory Lanez DNA was actually on the gun or the magazine of the weapon in question. That is the big news that came up, and the person that actually dropped it was DJ Academics. So DJ Academics has some connections to some peoples that I don't even know about, because he's able to see these court documents apparently before everybody else. But he said he saw this with his own eyes. And of course, he decided to put it out in a tweet. You know, he put it out a little tweet out there, letting everybody know that, you know, prosecutions has something to be a little bit scared about here now, because this DNA thing came back a little bit inconclusive. Meg Thee Stallion, of course, took a little offense to this and responded to Ack, pretty much saying, you know, Ack, how are you supposed to be getting documents before I even see them? And the only thing she's heard is that the case has been pushed until April 5th, I believe was the date.
The other thing that they're saying is, how did he release that information when they didn't even walk into court yet? She was saying
Right.
that the timeline actually doesn't match up. So there's that. So this information, this bombshell, is this actual factual, or is this just speculation?
I mean, it's possible that he could get it. It's very simple. I mean, if anybody's confused as to how he got this information, Tory Lanez defense gave it to him. Because this is part of, as he said multiple times, if you watch any of his videos or if you read any of his tweets, this is part of discovery, which means that the prosecution, after getting this type of evidence, they have to present it to the defense. And if the defense wants this to be known, but they can't release it themselves, they give it to bloggers like Academics.
Yeah, that's funny to me.
Yeah. Mystery solved.
That's very funny that they would toss Academics the alley-oop. But I just think it's amazing that Meg is still standing on, you shot me.
Right.
You shot me. Now, here's the reality. People get away with crimes all the time. I'm not suggesting for a second that Tory did this. I'm just saying people get away with crimes all the time, right? So is there a reason that Tory's DNA is not on the gun or the magazine? Yeah. Maybe he never touched the gun or the magazine. There's that, right? It's possible he could have wore gloves. Who knows? Or there's tons of who, what, where, why, when as to why the DNA would be there or why it would not be there. But Meg is standing on, you shot me. I do like Academics' very, very blunt approach to his response to Meg, because he came out and said the same thing we've been saying for however long we've been covering this, which is, you are coming up off of people's sympathy. The only reason why you got X amount of awards and all this push and all that is because people were showing sympathy. That's it. And if it comes out that you are a liar, you are going to tank in a major way. So I loved his response to that, because, like I said, we've been saying the same thing for like a year and a half.
It's funny because he gives his version. He gives his version of like the story of what actually happened at the party, right? And for anybody who hasn't heard his version, pretty much what happened is Tory Lanez got with Meg Thee Stallion's friend first, and they were smashing, right? Then all of a sudden, Meg Thee Stallion got with Tory. He started smashing her. She's taking private jets out to meet Tory all the time. They're smashing. They go to Kylie's party now. And Tory's mentality is, look, I've already smashed these two girls. So he starts flexing on Kylie. Meg starts to wild out because she's been drinking. Kylie kicks all three of them out the party because all three of them start wilding. Now they're back in the car. These two girls are here with them. They start arguing because now they realize that they've been fucking Tory. Tory's been fucking them, blah, 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 blah. Argument ensues from there. Now, they say there's this video evidence of showing where the flash from the gun muzzle comes off. And he's saying that there's the video, it could be the angle, but it actually shows the muzzle flash going off closer to Meg's friend than it does to Tory Lanez. So that's the story that Academics put out there in the universe. You know what I mean? And like I said, Let it be a mystery to you idiots, but he had to get his version of the story from somewhere. He wasn't there.
So I think, again, going back on Meg's side, Meg again is saying, how do you know that his DNA or the DNA was inconclusive? We didn't even walk into court yet. How do you already know this? That's what Meg is saying. How do you already know this? We didn't even enter into the courtroom yet for that information to even be presented by anyone. How do you know? So it's kind of like, for example, if I have that information and for my client's defense, why would I give that to a blogger so a blogger can tell everyone, and then the people who were duking it out within court, they could get wind of that? I mean, they're going to know about it anyway, but they're going to why so they can know about it in advance, or does that even matter?
Yes. So the reason that you do that is to control the narrative, because the narrative has now changed with this academic story. There are people who are on Meg's side and they heard this now, or people who are on the fence and they heard this now and they're like, oh, okay, now his DNA is not even on the gun. We haven't really seen a real gun wound. We've heard that there was no bullet fragments when they did the surgery. They never pulled out any bullet fragments out of Meg's foot. There's a whole bunch of evidence coming out that's saying something's a little bit off here, or the story, there's some pieces missing at least.
People's been swaying. People been swaying
but if you can help push them, a little bit more, you know what I mean? Why not?
And it's funny because Tory's actually fighting two cases. He's fighting one with the legal system and one in public court, because Tory could win the legal case, and great for him. No deportation, no jail time, whatever. He was, great. That's the one that matters. But the other thing is he's a celebrity. He's an entertainer. He still needs to make money. And we know the stench that physical assault on a woman, a sexual rape allegation can come. Like, it's not an easy thing to scrub off. So whether he wins or not in the league, he's still got to be out here. So he's fighting two cases right now. So to your point, where I got the heads up to try to help push that public narrative or that public image as to how anybody on Meg's side may be viewing Tory, like, no, man, he really didn't do this. It's a messed up situation, but he didn't do this. So I get it. I understand the point that you're making. I get it.
I mean, I'm not trying to sit here like I'm Nostradamus, but geez, some of these things just seem pretty obvious to me off jump. You know what I mean? And like you said, we've done plenty of videos about this. We said we weren't going to do another video until something substantial happened, because there was just too much fluff to be talking about every day. This is something substantial. And once again, it continues to prove what I've been saying from the very beginning, man. Like, it sounded like this was just a female who got her heart broken and reacted in a way, and something happened. You know what I mean? It was an accident one way or another, and she found a way to spin it with the intention of boosting her career. I'm gonna say it out loud. That was her intention with all of this.
Hold up. If you really want to be real, this was just not her intention. Let's not try to make Meg Thee Stallion out to some genius mastermind here. This is Roc Nation. Okay, this is whoever else is profits from the Meg Thee Stallion brand. All these people were in on this. Okay,
but so she got to agree, though.
Of course she has to agree. Of course she has to agree. But there's other people behind this pushing her. Right? The whole narrative was, you remember with the Rock narrative, like telling Tory not to say nothing. So, anyways, short version is, if Tory's proven innocent, I want to see some of these other people apologizing. First of all, I want to see Meg apologize, but I want to see some of these other people apologizing. Roc Nation. Who comes to mind when you hear Roc Nation?
Well, there's one or two things that's going to happen if it's found out that Meg Thee Stallion was lying this whole time, right? All it's going to take is for one person to drop her from their situation, and then everybody else is going to drop her like a bunch of dominoes. Now, if everybody sticks by her and stands by her, they're going to try to spin this in a way to where she felt like she needed to do this because she was put in a position, and they're going to make her out to be some kind of victim and try to play that story to bring her in that position, bring her career back. All I'm saying, these are the two outcomes that are possible to happen. I just want to put it on record now that I said it here first, because when one of these two outcomes does happen, you know what I mean? That's the only two ways it could go.
Well, there's another way. She could just tank.
I mean, her music is mediocre at best. Like, her music is not really that good to start off with, right? So she's not gonna get anything off of making great music. That's out of the question. So it's really about what she does after this, whether it comes out her side or not, just to stay relevant. She's got to look at Sweetie and be like, oh, because Sweetie went and had to go shave her head to stay in the news. So let's hope Meg can keep her hair.
Well, the one thing that I know is, regardless of what happens legally, officially, there's still going to be some people out there, all those hot girls. Tory did it. Tory did it. Tory did it. Tory did. You're not going to be able to change their mind. So will she still be able to make some sort of a living? Of course. But she's 110% going to pull the Donald Trump is card, which is, I was right. He was wrong. She's just going to lie. She's going to take it to her grave.
She has no choice now.
She has no choice.
No choice.
When
she's on the stand under oath, there's no I can make a narrative. There's no team at that point. It's just her.
Well, she can always
and
just
the legal system.
She can always just plead the fifth.
What's the point of her taking the stand? She's supposed to be the victim.
Well, then chances are she won't take the stand then.
No, they're going. That's the whole case. The whole case is the case is being put forth by the state. It's not her. The state is the one that put forth the case, and she is simply one of the people who are going to be giving testimony during this trial. If she takes
the stand and she lies under oath, that's a problem for her. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So we just have to wait till she takes the stand.
But what else can she do? So if she takes the stand and she tells the truth,
she got 2 great years. Like you just said, she got 2 great years of a career, man. She got 2 great years of a career. She got some awards. She's got plenty of recognition. Has a lot more money now. She's got herself a man. You know what I mean? She's living. She's living her life. She's living her best life.
No, you're right. Nobody could deny that. But to be clear, she takes a stand and she tells the truth. Let's just say that truth is Tory Lanez didn't shoot me. She had her great 2 years. Now what?
Yeah. Now it's over. Now it's gonna come out what really happened, unfortunately. Or she goes to jail for perjury. Like, they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory Lanez actually did this. And now the gun that they say was used to shoot her doesn't have the man's DNA on it.
Yeah, there's doubt immediately. That's doubt.
Okay, so you can't even prove that I touched the gun that you're saying I shot her with, bro. How do you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt? So she's gonna take the stand. She has to at this point.
But why can't she plead the fifth?
Because that would be even more damaging to the case. Then Tory would definitely win, because now you're telling me that I didn't shoot with the gun, and then the person that I shot doesn't want to tell you about.
Yeah, so she's in a messed up situation, because if she goes on the stand, which, as you said, she will, and she pleads the fifth, more doubt. Say she doesn't plead the fifth and she tells the actual truth. Okay, yes, Tory didn't shoot me. Still screwed. Let's just say she says, okay, yes, the nigga did shoot me. Perjury. So she's effed in the B, any which position.
Unless the story that Meg Thee Stallions was telling is the truth.
So what happened with the DNA evidence?
So let's see what her character is about.
What did he do?
Let's see what her character is about.
Did Tory put on the Nike gloves? He put on the Nike gloves for you.
Nobody knows what happened to that gun after he shot. Somebody could have wiped it off right after he shot her. There's a possibility that he didn't put forth. One of his people could have taken it and said, "Oh fuck," and wiped the thing off.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts on this, man? I just want to see a crash and burn. And I think you know who I want to see crash and burn. Right? But look, if he, and I'll say it again because we haven't said it in a while, if he did shoot her, that's some suckish. That's some suckish, man. Really and truly it is. And I'll stand on that. But it doesn't look like he shot her. I'm sorry. It doesn't look like he shot her. All right, man. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Will it be a hot girl summer?